I have the big pleasure of sitting here with Lars from Fat Moose. Who are you, Lars?
Well, I'm an old human being as you.
Yes.
But I love board games. That is my passion. I create board game like a hobby. It's not my regular job.
No.
I have created board game for a long time, but mainly in the background, doing all the mathematics and so on, and calculating out stuff. Today, I have created my own board game, which we have done for nearly 4 years.
This beautiful box we have right here.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is your first 100% game.
It
It's
is.
all you.
It is.
Is there anybody else that has been involved?
Yeah, my wife. She has done all the text.
All the text. Okay.
All the text. She's the funny one. I'm the logic one.
We have all the player cards here. There's a little flavor text down there in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's behind that.
Yeah, she's the comic.
She's the comedian.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then we have an artist.
Yeah.
Who have done all the pictures. Whose name is Klaus.
Okay.
And he's a fantastic artist.
Oh, but the artwork looks great. We just have to say that this is not the finished game. This is a prototype.
Yeah, it is.
It's a well-made prototype. It looks really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we try to do our best to make it interesting to play also.
Of course, yeah. With the artwork on the box and everything.
Yeah.
But like we said, some things might change.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it is.
So, but mainly all the art is done. I will say 94%.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Of the art is done.
Yeah.
The text is nearly done. We need to go through all the text on everything and have an English-speaking person doing the text, because Danish, English, not all the same.
There is a difference. Yeah, there is. Believe it or not. Tell us a little bit. How did this start? Where did the journey of Planet Trade start?
Oh, yeah, we think it's a funny story ourselves.
Yeah.
We love work on placement games, so we played like Terraform Mars quite a lot.
Great game, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Lord of the Deeps, Revel's Midgar.
Yeah.
It's all famous games. And me and my wife and some friends were sitting and playing these games, but thought we were missing some kind of interacting against each other.
Yeah.
Because those kind of games you're sitting and playing for yourself. And
basically, yeah.
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 So we are missing... Yeah, that you really can do something against others, be nasty and so on.
Being mean.
Yeah, be really mean. So one evening, while we were seeing a movie, I sat down and began, as I always do, creating ideas, mathematics to board games or role-playing games. And suddenly, I looked at my wife and said, try to look here. And she stopped watching the movie and began reading what I've been creating on a F4 arc blank paper.
yeah.
And she said, I think you have something here. And you just stopped making the movie. It was going in the background. I still remember the movie. It was Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well.
And we sat down and began to create this game on paper and pads and all kind of stuff. And 8 early in the morning the next day, we were done. Played the first game.
You did an all-nighter.
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 14 hours.
Oh, 14 hours, yeah.
Didn't go to sleep because we were so pumped.
Okay.
And I think that was back in 2017.
Yeah.
And I think there went about 4 months more before I showed it to my friends. And you took like a test game.
But then you had like, did you create markers from paper as well?
Everything from papers.
Everything from papers.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had paper and basically handwritten
yeah.
notes in front of your friends.
Yeah, even our cards was like playing cards, which was blank, just with notes on it.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
And they looked at me after playing the game and said, "That's pretty good." And we just began to evolve it, and it took 1 year, and then we created the first prototype.
Okay.
And went out to different unions, board game unions, and cafe, and made a lot of playtest. We have 10 groups, and we made 10 play with each group the first year.
10 groups, 10 plays.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was many games, and that was only the first year.
Yeah.
And then we made a prototype more the year after, play with the same groups, 10 more, with 10 groups.
Yeah, okay.
So 200 games.
200 games.
And then we had all the final. We were 90% done. And then we had to find an artist for the game. Because I can draw, but it will take me... to make this...
A little bit longer.
Yeah, it will take me a month.
yeah.
So one of my friends knew a person called Klaus Gyrup, who was an artist, mainly concept artist, and he thought it was a really good idea. I said, I would like to join you.
Yeah, that's cool.
And for the next 2 years, he created all the art while we were doing the playtest.
Oh, yeah.
And back in 2022, August month, we were done. And we created this first prototype. It looked like nearly a finished product.
Yeah. So about 5 years from the late night
yeah.
to the finished product.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, that is. But I guess there's a lot of math in this game. When you create a board game, tell me a little bit about how do you think when you create the game itself? Where do you start?
Oh, it just started like an idea popping into my mind.
Okay, yeah.
Like it always does.
Yeah.
And then you begin doing the mathematics. What can it do? It's doing like this. Can create like what did this show? How many numbers do need to be on it? So when you look at it now, from the first one, this is totally different.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah.
And we had like double some of the amount of cards.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the idea just sprang up because we wanted to do something similar to the other worker placement games like Terraform Mars, but we needed it to be fun and nasty and doing more interacting against each other. And yeah.
So would you say a player that likes terraforming Mars, that maybe do not like the interaction between players, what would they think about this? Would they be shocked that there's a big difference? Or?
I think they will be a little shocked, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand in this game, you cannot sit and only think on your own game.
No.
And build. Because if you do that, the other players will disrupt you, change the market, do a lot of things.
Yeah. So you need to keep an eye on what the other players are doing as well as your own.
Yeah. And have in back mind, what do they have on their hands? Can they interrupt what I'm doing here?
Yeah, okay. And they will probably.
Yeah.
So tell us about the game. I mean, what is the story behind it, and what's the goal of this beautiful little game here?
The story behind it is it is in the far future, not so far maybe. The population of Earth have been quite increasing a lot. We are missing a lot of resources on Earth, and like today nearly.
Yeah, true story. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you need to find it other places, and what other places are left? The space. Yeah,
space is always the answer.
Yeah, precisely. For many things, maybe.
Yeah, for many things. Yeah,
and I like space teams games anyway. So
well, I love the theme of this. It's great.
So. Yeah, so you find planets around the world. You are a transport company who need to transport resources back to Earth. And also you need to build up your own company with different kind of abilities through the cards. And you need to build factories, farms, build homes, etc. who all will increase your income and victory points in the end. Maybe I should say it. The game is about creating the most victory points in the end of the games.
By getting resources from other planets.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah. That's one of them. There's many
different ways.
Yeah.
Okay,
You get victory points from money, you get it from your keep cards, you get it on a secret mission in the end.
Secret, yes.
What you ship back to Earth in the end, what you build. So there's a lot of things.
Because you also build on the planets that you discover.
Yeah.
You can build factories and
yeah, precisely. Yeah. So on the planets out here, you can build four different things: a settlement, a farm, a resource facility, and a factory.
Yeah.
But you can only build 3, and one of each. So there'll always be one thing you cannot build.
Yeah.
And each thing you build will have an effect, either on what the planet is producing, or on your scoring, or your income. And if you build a factory, you also decide what this will produce of factory cargo. So that's also a point. So you can keep people out of the market if they don't have any factories they build. So
and this is also where the fun part comes in, because you can pretty much destroy planets as well.
Yeah.
And disrupt their trade routes.
Yeah, precisely. And you can shoot down the freighters, steal their cargo, steal their carts, destroy their carts, bomb the factories. You can also, of course, defend.
Yeah. You use cards to defend yourself against espionage or hackers and so on.
Yeah, we have 5 different kind of marks.
Yeah.
The one with the hackers, that's the cheap one.
Yeah.
Mainly hack either the demand track or your income or tax. Then you have planet attacks, which will happen on the planets.
Yeah.
Mainly on the buildings.
Yes.
Or on your keep cards, where you steal from the keep cards.
Because you have cards, you say keep cards, and these are the cards that you have on the table in front of you.
Yeah, that
will stay throughout the game.
Yeah, precisely. That is like your how do you say it? Your company's settings.
Your company settings. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
We have many difference. It can be everything from defending cards.
Yeah.
To cards will produce extra resources. To inventions, which will increase your stock and income. It can also be something which give you more victory points for each building you build in this game. So then people can look down, that gives a lot of victory points. We have to do something about that.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of things.
But I love that the part of the game that you actually need to keep an eye on what the other ones are doing, because it will affect the game quite a lot.
Yeah.
You can also, when you take the different cards, you say you can choose if you want to have more keep cards or more cards on your hand and so on.
Yeah.
That is a big effect on the gameplay.
It does indeed.
Can change quite a bit.
It changes. Well, you choose between, there's 3 things you can choose. You guys can choose to pick up 4 event cards.
Yes.
Or you can take 2 event cards and 1 keep.
Yes.
Or you can take 2 keep cards. And every keep card you play, you'll put down in front of you.
Yeah.
Mainly they give victory points also in the end of game, but everybody can see what you're sitting with.
Yeah. Okay. Would you say that are you able to keep one strategy throughout the game, or should you change along the game?
You should change along the game.
Keep an eye out and change. Yeah.
Sometimes you can follow one strategy if the other players are newbie, maybe as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But if I played it a few times, you have to keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Because people will disrupt your play.
I guess it also depends on which type of group you're playing with.
Yeah.
If you have a really offensive group, there will probably be a lot of battles.
Yeah, and you can be a little angry at each other also.
Yeah.
We have sitting and laugh at some points because one people he was like, "Oh, I'm in the lead. You cannot reach me," and suddenly the next round you're sitting like this. "Oh, I hate you guys."
Crying.
Yeah, something like that. Also, another fun part, which is changing each turn that you play on a global event card.
Oh yeah.
And that one will have effect in the entire round. So let's say that your plan that you will bring back a lot of food because that is high in demand and you're the first player, and suddenly you're not allowed to bring back food. Then you have to change your strategy.
Oh yeah, then you have to change strategy.
Yeah.
But I love that, because that will force the game to be different, not just from game to game, but also from round to round.
Yeah.
That is quite unique. That's quite cool. And you can also discover new planets, right?
Yeah, precisely. Then you can pull one over here.
Yeah.
And then you will add it to the game. And each planet, there's 4 types of planets. And each type of planet will produce a specific amount of cargo and different kind of resource. So the more planet you have, the more trade route you can create and own. Yeah. And the more trade route you have, the more flights or freighters you can own, and the more cargo you can bring back.
You use these little flights here to fly out and pick up the little resources.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
So, and you have down here, just for fast one, then you can see how much the planet will produce. Then you have the warehouse space, which will be refilled every turn. And then you put in your flights here.
On your little flight track there,
yeah? Yeah, and then you will load the cargo from here until here.
Yeah.
And you also need to keep an eye on the demand tracks up here. Also keep in mind, this is the prototype. We have already done a lot of changes, which will make it more you better can see what it is.
Yeah.
And you will better can see the numbers. We are working on different solutions.
Yeah, of course. Like we said, it is a prototype. The finished version will look, but I think it already looks quite good. Yeah. I mean, the artwork really appeals to me. I like this. It's sci-fi, but it's still believable.
Yeah. to be honest, both me and Klaus, who's the art behind everything, we like an old Syrian movie called Firefly.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah, it's a good classic one. So we tried also to create many of the cards a little in that way.
From that, okay, yeah, that's cool.
So we keep it down to earth, so we don't have a lot of aliens or anything like that. There's no alien in this.
No.
It's only about the Earth and planets we'll find.
It's a realistic resource management game in space.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of different things here to keep an eye on. I can see that on the planet, on the trade routes, the demand, the cards, the other players. It's so cool. Where would you say this is in weight? Is it a hard game? Is it easy, or is it...
We call it a mid-heavy game.
Mid-heavy game.
So what we mean by that is mid-game is not a hard game to learn.
No.
It'll take you 2 rounds, then you normally learn the game. What we mean by heavy, this will take about 1 hour per player. So for a 3-player game, it will take about 3 hours.
Yeah, it's a long game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So you have to sit down and expect to sit down for 3 or 4 hours to play this game. Some people think it's a long time. Other people like this kind of games. They think it's go really fast.
yeah. It's really depend on what player group you have.
Yeah, precisely.
Absolutely.
So if you like games that only take 1 hour, this game's
it's not for you. No, it's not for you. Because we sat down before we did this video and you told me how the game works, the mechanics, and I think from what you told me, it's not that hard to learn.
No.
But I can see how it can pretty fast become quite difficult to manage the game with everything you need to keep an eye on. So for a new player, you will be pretty focused on your own management area, but when you get more and more advanced, I mean, you are going to start to look at other players and probably mess them up a bit.
What we normally say about 3 or 5 times you try this game, you can begin to build more strategies. If you already like these kind of games, you already can create a strategy from the first game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as a newbie, 3 or 5 games.
Yeah, a little bit harder, I thought.
Of course. But you will learn it extremely fast. We have even had people playing this game who doesn't like this kind of games, and they said after the second round, it makes sense.
Yeah, but it makes sense. It's not that hard.
Absolutely.
No. I will make a how to play video on this game that will be out pretty soon, where I'll show you all the steps. So, but I do not think it's that hard to learn, from my perspective at least. Is there anything? This game goes out on Kickstarter in May, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want the viewers to know before the campaign? Or?
Yeah, we can tell you shortly about the campaign. Firstly of all, this is the first game that I've created 100% by myself, with help from my wife who done the text and from Klaus and a graphic called Mort. But everything behind the Kickstarter campaign, I will do it myself. So you can say it's an indie game development.
Yeah.
So also the game is nearly done. It's 95% done. So we only need to do all the extra thing on the Kickstarter, a few extra things. So about half a year after the Kickstarter has been running, we can say now we can go to the factories.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite fast.
We already had a factory involved in this.
Yeah.
And when spoken to them, they will take about 2 months where we will send details back and forth.
Yeah.
Then they need 3 to 4 months to create the game and 2 to 3 months to ship it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can deliver this in July or August already next year. So, and also another thing, as I told you also, I work as a shipping agent.
Yeah.
So for me, shipping is second hand. And also we can put it into our own containers. So I can better control everything.
Yeah. Well, no destructions on the way.
No. So I think we are quite far. And
but it looks like it. Yeah, absolutely.
And we also already have an expanse ready.
Yeah. Would you want to tell a little bit about that, or?
Yeah, I can tell shortly on it. You can see there's like small moons here.
Yeah.
This is only for an expanse. And that because we are trying to test how it will work, so we created it on the basic board also.
Yeah.
So instead of you only can build here, you can suddenly also build some extra things here.
Up on the moon.
Yeah, up on the moon, yeah. will have effects, also give you more income and so on. And then we have another one where you have a CEO. So everybody is drawing 2 CEO cards and may choose one. And this CEO have a special ability.
Okay.
Go in more money on food, cheaper cards. So they will also change the game on what you're drawing. And the last one is we have 4 more planets.
4 more planets.
So you can change it how you want to play the game. So it will create a little difference in the game.
Yeah, okay. So you don't use all the planets in one game, or you just sort it out?
You sort it out.
Okay, yeah.
So these planets are the base, and
Yeah.
this one always need to be on it.
Yeah.
So in every start game, the setup for 4 player will be like this, and for 3 player will be like this. So, yeah. So that's the short part of it.
Yeah.
And we're also working on to add. This game is for 3 to 4 players. When you can play it 2 players, but it doesn't work so well.
No.
Mainly because then you'll just sit and hit on each other.
Fight each other back and forward, yeah.
Yeah, precisely.
You need the interaction.
Yeah. And we're also working on a 5 to 6 player game.
Oh, really?
Who will also change a little about the setup.
I'm guessing that a solo mode here would be really hard. Unless you have like an AI or something.
Yeah, then you need like AI cards.
But the whole interaction is the thing in this game.
Yeah, it is.
I think, yeah.
It is also the part of the game why we like the game and why people who like this kind of game like it.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I think it looks really cool, my friend. I am happy that I have you here in my studio. I'm happy that you took the time to come all the way from Denmark to Sweden. I mean, it's like hundreds of hours. Yeah. It's quite cool to have you here. I'm so happy you took the time. Thank you. Like I said, there will be a video up on the game as well on how to play it, so be sure to check that out. I will also put links down in the description to the Kickstarter and your webpage and everything, so check that out if you want to do that. But most importantly, my friend, until next time, do not forget to spread that board gaming love. Peace.